The mission of Energy Outreach Colorado, or Colorado Energy Assistance Foundation, was really to support adults who were in need of energy assistance in an effort to keep their homes warm. The biggest challenge was awareness of who is Colorado Energy Assistance Foundation, and is it really a problem? Do people not have access to energy because they can't afford their bill? I worked for Energy Outreach Colorado probably from 1989 to about 2003 as the executive director, and they were just formulating who we were going to be.
I started at what is now Energy Outreach Colorado in 1996. I was hired as the organization's first development director and really started to understand the statewide impact that energy assistance has in Colorado, where you have a central corridor, Metro, Denver, kind of Fort Collins down to Trinidad, that corridor. But then you also have the Eastern Plains, you have resort communities that all have very different needs. And so really the expansion has been dramatic.
We're shifting in a way to incorporate more electrical usage to provide space heating and heat hot water. The vulnerable households we serve within that transition to ensure there's adequate education being provided to them that gives them the best chance at reducing their energy and reducing their utility bills. We're really trying to usher people into an area where they are going to be able to experience long-term affordability and then ultimately be able to financially plan for that as they see their utility bills drop and then hopefully be able to afford more basic services for their families.
There's so many stories of how EOC has changed people's lives. When we started doing energy efficiency work, we went to an old home in the Baker neighborhood of Denver that was converted into sober living housing. And we retrofit the building, we made it more energy efficient, and we added new refrigerators into the building. And this woman started crying when she saw the new refrigerator because she said, "This is the first time I've ever had a new refrigerator."
As we coordinated more closely with our board, who were very sophisticated and knowledgeable about how we could be stronger advocates, we really got very involved in the policy arena.
So back in 2004, we actually passed legislation that required households to pay a charge on their utility bill. Customers, if they didn't want to pay that charge, could opt out of it. And then the governor vetoed it in 2004. But it's always was in the back of my mind after kind of being disappointed in that veto experience. So 17 years later, in 2021, post-pandemic, we passed that same piece of legislation that generates funding for energy assistance, energy efficiency, and even some really unique programs.
The organization is actually doing three things well. It's helping people in need of assistance to afford their energy, so that's immediate. Also helping people sort of improve their place of living, their home, to be more energy efficient. That's sort of midterm. And long term is helping people to have a stake in renewable energy. It's gratifying to learn more and to see the entire organization in action.
I got excited by really being able to use my passion for building engineering to be able to give back in a positive way socially.
I'm so grateful that I get to wake up and do this every day. It really is a gift.